different game today.
Yeah, it was. And we had a hard time running. It wasn't for lack of trying, but they did a really good job, I thought, pressuring us. We had a bunch of inside pressure that made we just did not pick it up very well, and resulted in some negative runs. And we hit a few later, but it made it tough, and they did a nice job.
Were you expecting them to kind of stack the box and come inside as much as they did?
Yeah, especially after last week. It wasn't a big surprise how we ran the ball, so I think they had made sure that they were, bringing an extra guy in there. They had a lot of different, cross dogs and linebacker pressures that make it tough to get up to the second level, and we left some guys uncovered. I didn't think they did a nice job of disguising it too. We didn't see it very well, and then once we did, it was too late. So I credit to them that they did a nice job planning for it, and we struggled getting any consistency in the run game.
This was maybe the best that your screen game has looked in the last year or so. I mean, you had the one taken back from a touchdown
for a TD.
But what was working for you?
Well, all the pressure. They had a lot of pressure. They were getting up the field. They were pressuring the quarterbacks, so the screens were good because there was less people to block downfield. And we hit them. We timed a few pretty well into some pressure and got rid of the ball quick. And we probably could have had 100 yards on screen receptions alone if we don't have the penalties. So I thought that was an improvement from what we've been. I thought we've looked good in practice on them, and it showed today.
What did you think of Tommy generally overall?
Overall, pretty good. The interception was a first and goal play that wasn't there, and that has to be a throwaway. It was one of those deals where we forced it for no reason. We should throw it out of bounds over his, into the stands and line up and play again. And that's the stuff that, of a really good game, just kind of one thing that we have to fix. But luckily, it didn't affect us as the game went on. But those are costly mistakes that we got to make sure and correct.
What do you think about the rest of his game?
I thought he made plays. I thought he ran the ball well. I thought he distributed the ball under pressure at times really well. Got rid of it quicker. There was a couple reads that we would like to have back in terms of, we threw a seam to Westy that we should have been throwing an outside hitch and just taking what they gave us. So we probably tried to get a little aggressive on a couple, but I was, besides the interception, I was really pleased with how he spread the ball around and got out of some pressure problems by either scrambling a little bit or getting rid of the ball.
Hey, Danny, on that pick, did you have to say something to Tommy after a throw like that, or is it at this point does he know that's?
A good question. I think when you come off the sideline on a play like that, you're very aware of how bad that was. So I think for me it's a little bit more of both of us just take a deep breath and then talk it through. And rather than scream and yell on a play that he knows was bad, I think just saying, hey, when it's not there, we do not need to force it. I really went through the situation with him. I said, hey, we're first and goal. We have a good misdirection that we like. It's not there. It's not a good play. Don't make the bad play worse. Just throw it away and move on. So, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to freak out or anything. But at the same time, it has to be communicated that we can't have that.
How nice was it to see Brandon?
Say again?
How nice was it to see Brandon?
Yeah, it was great. We were going to go after him early. We did that on the second play with him. He had the big post that I was really surprised that wasn't a catch. We saw the TV replay and thought it looked good. They must have seen something that we couldn't see very well on the replay, but it was a heck of a catch, I thought. But he's a real deep threat. He's a good route runner, good hands, and we're very happy to have him back.
How did having all of your weapons at your disposal, how did that kind of lead to the big game for the receivers?
Yeah, last week was just a funny game. We were running the ball so well, we didn't really have a need. to do that. And then, early in this game was really difficult running, and that helped us. It helped open up a few things in the run game. We hit the screens well. We completed some balls early that got us some momentum, got us some big chunks, and took a little pressure off the run, but still striving for that good balance between run and pass. And I think we weren't as good running. We tried to do that. I think we probably were pretty similar between carries and attempts, which is good. But I didn't like the production in the run game early. That was we struggled there.
Has Tommy improved on that screen pass, just the delivery?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of timing. It's kind of being able to set and then drift a little bit and find those windows, put a little touch on the ball. And like I said earlier, it's looked better in practice from him and from the line blocking downfield. So we're improved there.
Danny, when the defense is creating turnovers, your guys are running out on the field a lot, but how nice is that for you?
Yeah, that's I don't know how many they had, but we had great field position, seemed like all day. We had the one time we were backed up, I think we had a 97-yard drive, so it was a good response to bad field position, but the rest of the time we had some great starts, and it really opens you up. You can take a shot, you can run some misdirection there, and then we hit some of the screens in midfield that went for big plays.
Bunch of wide receivers, not only catches, but some of the runs after.
Yeah, I thought the run after catch on some of the quick bubble throws they were very good. They were blocked well on the perimeter, and then we got some extra yards there. A couple big catch and runs, kind of on the intermediate stuff was good, especially on third down.
Danny at 2-0 now. This next week obviously means a lot to you guys with your connections to Oregon. Just can you kind of look ahead a little bit now, knowing what you have this next week?
Yeah, we really try to, we really preach that one week at a time, and of course we have history with this team, but until now we haven't thought about them, and being 2-0 and getting to host them will be really good. It'll be a great atmosphere and a huge game for our guys in a national spotlight.
When you took the job, did you see that right away? Like, oh, year 2, we get Oregon.
Yeah, we've seen that in the future schedules, but like I said, I think our guys were really focused on this week. It wasn't easy the whole day. We had some adversity that we had to overcome, but now that we got through it, I think we could really get our focus on the Ducks and be ready to go.
Danny, 550 yards of total offense. Is there? You got to be a little careful not to nitpick too much.
I think if you're really striving to be perfect, then we don't want to not look at some problems that would crop up if we weren't moving the ball as well. So we want to treat the issues the same in a win or a loss, or a lot of yards or not very many yards. So I think if we're consistent in how we're teaching and coaching, some of the stuff is correctable, but it's got to get corrected too. So we're going to make sure and look at it with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that we build them up too. There was a lot of big plays. There's a lot of confidence with this group, but at the same time, when we needed some drives, we didn't get them. We got bailed out a little bit with some turnovers and good field positions. So we have to do a better job of responding to some problems.
How much was it set up to go with the fake bubble screen and find Alonzo Moore in the middle for that touchdown?
Yeah, we had a pretty good look for it, and the way that they had been running to the ball in the zone running game, that was going to open up, we thought, and it did. They kind of over-rotated, and we hit them going back against the grain and split the coverage. It was a great throw and catch and a big play in the game.
Can you talk about his emergence as a big play guy?
Yeah, he's had a great camp. We had some big plays from him last year downfield, and he's done a nice job, catching a slant and turning it into a big one. He's a deep threat as well as Brandon. He's got a lot of range, so he's a big target area. You can kind of throw it out there and trust that he'll go get it. So I thought the big slant for a touchdown was really a good example of that.
Were you surprised by the amount of pressure Wyoming was able to generate with just their front four in the passing game?
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of linebacker pressure. That was I thought was their plan coming in, and like I said, I don't think we handled it very well, especially in the run game. But they did that to Northern Illinois last week. I thought they would have to come in here and probably feel like they had to do that to keep us off balance, and they did a nice job of it. So we had planned and prepared a lot for pressure, and like just didn't handle it very well.
Do you feel like you guys are getting more balanced, or do you feel like there's still a lot to work on?
Well, you know, last week was really good in the run and not so good in the pass. I think today was better in the passing game, not so good in the run, and so we're striving for it. I think we were in the right mix in terms of passing attempts and rushes, but the production in the runs has got to get better.